Welcome to John's Tarot. Well, thank you very much. I hope everybody's having a great day. And I'm going to start on a different series today, a different series of videos and podcasts. Just talk about some different topics. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the concept of individuation. Individuation is a concept that was brought forth by C.G. Jung, Carl Gustav Jung. And to start out, I want you to know I am not a Jungian psychologist. I am not Jungian oriented. This is just from my personal experience and what I've run into in life, and how appropriate many of his things were about what I've gone through. And I'm going to just point that out a little bit. So, what is individuation? Let me move over here and we'll take a look at that. So, individuation is defined as, in a general sense, simply refers to the process of separating from the collective, including one's parents and cultural norms, to become a unique individual. However, the meaning of individuation goes far deeper in the context of Jungian psychology. Most Jungian psychology, also called analytical psychology and depth psychology, centers on what psychiatrist Carl Jung later termed the individuation process. The individuation process was Jung's way of explaining the path of optimal personal development for an individual. The aim of individuation is nothing less than to divest the self of false wrappings of the persona on the one hand, and the suggestive power of primordial images on the other. That is, to individuate, one ultimately needs to strip away two things: the social mask and false identity the ego created for itself in the course of early development, and the unconscious influences of the archetypes. This is no small feat, but in doing so, a unique, total human being emerges. What is the goal of individuation? The purpose of individuation process is to increase a person's consciousness. With greater consciousness, the individual can heal the splits in their minds between what's conscious and unconscious, bringing what's unconscious, what a person doesn't know about themselves, to the conscious, helps guide the individual to wholeness in the psyche. So how this came about for me personally was I was going through a period in early sobriety where I was wondering, why couldn't I be successful? Why everything I was doing led to failure? And I started asking myself, and it had to do with my programming and not being an individuated individual. I didn't know I had anything to do with individuation. I just wanted to know why I kept failing at the things I was trying to do. And it occurred to me, one of the things that occurred to me early on, was I the person who I was meant to be, I was born to be, or was I just the person I was brought up and programmed to be, or raised to be by my family of origin? And I started asking myself these deeper questions. Ultimately, I received an answer, and I developed into the person I was always meant to be. And I can go into that in a deeper format sometime. But I provided a way of doing the individuation process in the Soul Awakening series. If you take a look at the Soul Awakening series, it is a guide to individuation, where we strip away the persona, we strip away false images, false perceptions about ourselves, and take a look at who we truly are and who we truly want to be. If you want to work through that, it's on there. I have it on my webpage, johnstarot.net, on the episodes page. I have the whole program laid out for you to work through. And you will definitely have a psychological change, a psychological experience where you will have become in touch with that deeper sense of self and that deeper sense of wholeness and identity of who you were really meant to be, as opposed to who you were brought up to be, who the society has brought you up to be. So I'm going to do a real quick reading here. How am I doing on time? I'm going to do a real quick reading here on individuation. We'll do 3 cards, and I'll throw some runes. On this journey of individuation, what are some good guides? If somebody wants to do the journey of individuation, other than the guide I left up on John's tarot, what are some good guides to this journey? Now, if you are a Jungian psychologist, go ahead and take a look at what I've done over there on this journey of individuation, on this journey to wholeness, because ultimately that's what it is a journey to wholeness, to who you truly are. So if you're a psychologist or a clinician, take a look at what I put up there and get a hold of me at John at johnstarot.net and tell me where I'm messed up or tell me where I'm right. I have a feeling you're going to find out. I have a feeling I'm going to find out I'm right a lot more than I'm wrong. And of course I'm wrong on occasions. It happens. I'm a human being and I'm just doing the best I can. So what are some things that people need to be aware of on this journey of individuation? My ability to read tarot is a gift, an expression of divine love, and I'm here to share it with you in that same spirit. I hope you. So, what are some of the signposts people need to be aware of should they choose to take this journey of individuation? And I want to tell you, it's not a journey everybody's going to take. It's not a journey everybody needs to take. Some of you go through it naturally. Some of you, like myself, are drawn through it screaming and kicking. And some people will never go through it at all. They'll never take a look at their deeper selves, at things that are driving them as individuals. But I think it's time that we start to wake up as a population, I kind of look at the population of the United States as an organism, and the organism itself starts to wake up. I know there are some people who are going to continue. It's just so much easier to outsource your thinking to a news network or a political ideology or to a religious philosophy and outsource. And they'll tell me what's right. They'll tell me what's wrong. And they'll tell me who I am. And they'll tell me what I need to know, rather than take this journey of what I'm suggesting to you today. So, what are some of the signposts along the way, 3 cards, that we need to be aware of on a journey of individuation? And for me, it was a really interesting journey, and it wasn't particularly threatening, but and I got dragged through it because I needed a psychological overhaul. Some people, when they get into sobriety, they could just have what I would call a clean kind of monitored sobriety. That's what I'll call it. Or you could go to a few meetings, work a few steps, and you'll be all right. You know, you're kind of got this clean monitored sobriety, and you're okay. For me, I required a complete psychological overhaul at a much deeper level, and that's how I stumbled on all this. So, what are some of the signposts along the way of individuation that you would like to make us aware of? Cut the deck. And my first card is the Ace of Swords. You can see it there. Ace of Swords. Second card, I like to throw them all out, is the 3 of Swords. And then the third card is the 10 of Swords. And I could throw some runes on there too. Why not? Just to make it interesting. Odin, Freya, please help guide this reading. And what do we need to be aware of on this journey of individuation? And my first rune that one is called Jira. Jira has to do with being new birth, new growth. So on this journey of individuation, it's a journey of truth. It's a journey of truth about yourself, what you need to know about yourself. And it's telling me about myself. You see the crown and the wreath on the top of the sword. Now, I have achieved some level of individuation. I don't know if I'm fully individuated or not, but I have achieved some level of awareness, and it's truth about myself and truth about my family system that has brought me to that awareness, that certain awareness. that is in this awareness. I know most people don't share. When I ask people that question, are you who you were meant to be, or are you just the person you were brought up to be? They often give me a puzzled look, like they don't know because they've never asked themselves that question. My second rune, so it's a journey of truth. My second rune, the Three of Swords, and my rune for that will be Tiwaz. Tiwaz looks like an arrow. So it talks about the Three of Swords, talks about disappointment, lies, talks about things that didn't work out. And if you are a person who was like me, having problems with not being successful in the things that you want to accomplish in life, that you feel programmed, that you feel um, you're running into difficulties you cannot see past. That is the card for that, the Three of Swords. Disappointment, failure, uh, backstabbing, not backstabbing as much as being stabbed, being wounded by maybe your family system, your family programming, and it's holding you back. And then the rune Tiwaz, the things. No, there is a way out of this. Tiwaz is the rune of victory, the rune of the warrior. It takes a little backbone. It takes a little work. Sometimes, though, to do the work, it takes some perception. When is the time to move forward? When is the time to stand still? And I can help you with some of that. If you want, you could text me or email me. You can't text me. You can email me, and I'll be glad to help you on your path of individuation. And then the final card is the Ten of Swords. You see a man laying on the ground with 10 swords in his back, and the rune is Langus. That's Langus. Langus has to do with the waves coming in, the waves going out, the currents of life. And it talks about on this journey of individuation, that there will be certain points you'll be able to go. You'll be able to go so far on a certain issue. If you follow my Soul Awakening series, I'll take you through each issue. But you'll be able to go so far, and then you have to wait. You just have to wait to psychologically work through it, because this isn't something that you just do click, step work, step 1, step 2, step 3, it's not like that. It's not the way it works. Sometimes you have to psychologically wait it out. So you do the work, and you start a process. You start an internal process, and you can't go any farther with that process until you work out all the details of the process you just finished. And your mind takes time to work through these things, one thing at a time. And so that's what the rune Langus has to do with. The currents in life, and moving forward a little bit at a time. And when the time is right, then you move on to the next step. And you'll know when that next step is.
Oh, far out, man.
Yeah. So for today, I hope you enjoyed my little presentation on individuation. Let me know how you like my different format I'm doing now. I'm doing a format where I'm releasing several videos during the week, like every other day at this time, rather than one long video. Let me know how you like this format, so I know whether to keep it up. So until next week, be careful, be cool, be kind, and remember, have strength, find faith, and I will talk to you all again when I see you in a couple of days. Okay, bye-bye.